Hello guys, this is 8 vlog and now we are going to discuss the topic is theory of force, statement of the theory and history. In the previous vlog we discussed the first part of it. Now we are going to discuss the second part of this topic. Let's start. I think the state was born, he says, when a leader with a number of a warrior had under his conquered a territory was of considerable size. This happened when a leader becomes the ruler of his own tribe and conquers the neighboring tribes and begin to rule over a large territory. For example, England was neighboring tribes and began to rule over a large territory. For example, England was originally a country and Anglo-Saxon tribes constantly fighting with one another. At last, they become to be divided into 7 kingdoms called a heptarchy. War continued among these 7 kingdoms till at last one of them conquered all other and founded the kingdom of England as we know it today. Several centuries later, the English kingdom enslaved several other kingdoms of the world and became British Empire of the 19th century. Leacock also explained his theory of these words. Historically, it means government is the outcome of human aggression and the beginnings of the state are the sought in the sought in the capture and enslavement of man and by man, in the conquest of subjugation of fabular tribes and generally speaking it in the self-seeking domination acquired the superior physical force. The progressive growth from tribe to kingdom and from kingdom to empire is but a continuation of the same process. President Woodrow Wilson said that the war as or the method of blood and iron has not only created great empire in the past and the present, but we shall see more blood and iron methods in future. Oh, this is black. This is dangerous. According to this theory, the use of force does not end when the establishment of the state. Once it is established, force is still required to preserve by the maintaining law and order within the state by suppressing internal disturbance and revolt and repelling foreign aggression. Coercive power is necessary to punish the lawbreakers and criminal and compel others to obey laws and authority of the state. Thus, might become right in enforced by the coercive power of the state. In short, the theory may be summarized as thus the state of the outcome of human aggression in the past and the subsequently maintained, defended or destroyed by force, coercion or compulsion. Criticism: the role of the force in the state. How far is the force theory true? Blatchy point out that the residuum of truth, since it make prominent one element which is indispensable of state, namely force, and has the certain justification as against the opposed theory of social contract, which based of the state upon the arbitrary will the individual and leads logically to politically importance. Force in the sense of direct coercive power was indispensable for creating and establishing the state of the past and is equally essential for maintaining and preserving it at present. The state is a society of individuals which regulate their lives and activities according to certain rule of life and under definite body of laws. Most of them submit to law there and authority willingly or by habit, but there are always some individuals in every state who do not obey law except under compulsion or fear of punishment and society. Such are the criminals, the habitual lawbreakers and the like, and the use of force is necessary to compel or coerce them to obey the law and not to disturb the public peace and the rights of others. Similarly, the state requires force to preserve it against the disruptive elements within itself, suppress revolts against it, and also to defend it against foreign endeavors and aggression. It would be great mistake to underestimate the importance of force on the process of evolution, maintenance, and preservation of the state. Force is therefore necessary to organize social life. It is in this sense that bartender Rochelle says force is power. It's as necessary to politics as energy to its physics. This is what Lasky means. What he said, it is the possession of its legal right to resort or coercion which distinguishes the government of the state from the government to all other association. Woodrow Wilson has rightly said government in its last analysis is organized for detect defects. The theory overemphasized the part played by force. It is needed a mistake not to realize the importance of force in the evolution or maintenance of the state, but it is also a mistake to regard it as a only exclusive element and not an element which brought the state into beginning and preserve it today. Force or coercive power, as McIver puts it, in a criterion of the state, but not the essence. It is an instrument of state action, not the state itself. The theory overemphasized the part played by war and violence in the development of the state. When they regard themselves as the sole factors in the building of the state, according to the evolutionary theory as described hereafter, there was several other factors, and to the evolutionary theory as described after, there was several other factors and influences like kingships, religion, etc. They determined the evolution and emergence of the state and made it what it is today. But the state must have the power to command to be obeyed if it is remain a state, but force alone will not enable it to last long. Use of sheer force for a long time will defeat its own purpose and bombard its destroying the rulers who relied on its alone. The truth is, as a French proverb say, you can do anything with a bayonet except sit on it. As an old saying puts in, those who take up the sword shall perish by the sword. We come to his conclusion that tough force is necessary, but it must be used. The use of force must be occasional and not regular. Moreover, even for a successful application of the force, other motives and factors besides the fear and force must be present. In simple words, force or might must be supported by right, will, not force. In the basis of state, without force, no state can exist, nor the sovereignty of the state ultimately rests on force. But the theory of force is magnifying what has been only one factor in the evolution of society into the sole controlling force. Force alone can defeat its end, because force always disrupts unless it is made subservient to common will. The authority of the state must be based on the consent of the people. This is the lesson of all great revolution in human history, of the French Revolution in 1989, of the Russian Revolution of 1917, when a state or government ceases to the upheld by the consent of the people and make too frequent to use the force that is of bullet and bayonets, and cannot long stay in power. It remains therefore that not force but moral force can be, and constant are the bulk bars of the state, the real basis of its stability and permanence. The English idealist T.H. Green has expressed that this fact, thus it is will and not force which is the real basis of the state. He says further, it is not coercive power as such, but coercive power exercised according to law, written and unwritten, for maintenance of the existing rights from external and internal invasion that makes a state. Relation between might and right. The exercise of force can be justified only when sanctioned by law and right. The state must ultimately base itself on right and enlist the conscious support of its citizens. Force exercised under law become authority and power, but without the sanction of law, it is sheer brute force on which the state cannot last long. Might is not right always. Might is not always right. Men have conflicting desire and often act conflictingly. Law defines the right or the socially and legally recognized act and desire. In this way, might or force become the custodian and upholder of right and the thereby justified. Hence, force exercised in this manner become the bulwark of the state and guarantee of its stability. Might and without right, says T. H. Green, can be the best, be only temporary. Might with right is the permanent basis for the state. It is good to have the strength of the giant, but is the tyrannical to use it like a giant. The state has the strength of a giant, but it become a tyrant of if it use it without the consent of and will of its citizen. The ruler exercise sovereign power of the common goodwill with common consent, as Lasky puts. If the state wants successful to coercive, it must be able to successfully to persuade. The individual advocate the force theory on the principle of the struggle for existence and the survival of the fittest. In the animal world, the struggle for existence is perpetually waged for food and self-preservation. In this struggle, the strong animal succeeds in snatching food from the mouth of the weak by killing them, and thus survives. Success in snatching food from the mouth of the weak by killing them, and thus survive while the weak are killed. The individualist arrest that the same kind of struggle goes on the human society. The state could not interfere in this struggle to protect the weak against the strong, the poor against the rich, the individual against the healthy, invalid against the healthy, or the unintelligent against the intelligent. If it would do so, it will awaken the society, because it should become the nation of the weak, the invalid and unintelligence and the like. But the struggle for existence, nation of the weak, the invalid and the intelligent, the like. But the struggle for the existence in the society and is a struggle between ideas and belief, institution and custom. They do not survive because they are stronger, but because they meet the needs of the people, or of not or of truth. It is not necessary that only strong men would now to discover new truths and better ideas. New truths and better ideas. The intelligence may not man may not necessarily be a strong, but great men are often weak in bodies but strong in mind. It is therefore a duty of the state to protect the weak and weak in body but strong in mind, and it is therefore a duty of the state to protect the weak and the handicapped, and often all the person equal opportunities for development education development education, development, and happiness. The law of social life are different from the biological laws of the jungle life. The individualist thinkers, by making to the two identical, would reduce social life to a level of the animal life. Lastly, the theory of force is dangerous and mischievous. It regards might as superior to right. It proclaims the submission of the weak to the strong as universal law of human life, and thus make it the basis absolute despotism. It justifies the utilization of the national resources of the state for war preparation with a view of conquering other. It denies the liberty of the individual and the sovereignty of the people, because it emphasizes the difference between the weak and the strong. But the slave and his master, it asserts that force and commanded laws, but the fact is the reason and truth make the laws. So this is the topic we discuss about. The next topic is theory of social contract. History is of the social contract theory. The theory of social contract is as old as political speculation. Ancient Greek philosopher Plato and Aristotle discussed it when, but only rejected it. The Greek moralist and Roman jurist also deal with the theory, but after the fall of Greece and Rome, however, the social contract theory lost its appeal and was put on. So to say, it is the cold storage of ancient book for more or two than 1,000 years. No one paid any attention to political philosopher. It was the age of religion, when man's eye were fixed on the heaven and on the next life and not in his word. The highbye of the social contract theory was in the early modern age, during the 16th, 17th and 18th century, when the greatest controversy between the freedom of the subject of the authority and the king begin when man was the awakening from centuries old slumber of political life. During the 18th century, this theory had a universal appeal and was widely believed. It numerous supporter and writer put forth many versions of this theory. So this is the topic we discuss about. So meet in next vlog. So thank you for